Dusty, what fresh hell
It's been a hot minute, hasn't
have
it?
you rained down upon me?
Well, we're going way back here to 1979.
That's a long time ago.
It's a fairly long time ago. Did we start this, or it just went automatically?
I think it just went automatically.
Okay, so we played a little bit of this before we actually started it up. So yeah, let's get into it here.
For reference, I'm green and you are yellow, but also sometimes
green when you get
also
the
green.
puck for this version.
Yeah.
So funny thing, I guess, with this game, it's a 2-player game. Like, you can't play this game by yourself.
Yeah. So unlike my normal situation in which I have no friends, here I'm required to make friends.
So in 1979, if you didn't have a friend, you were out of luck.
You're out of luck.
Too bad for you. You were just playing with the wind.
Now, I will say, first impressions, this looks a bit rough. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man.
We're used to playing old games.
Well,
that said,
we hopped on this one quickly because it was kind of there and it's kind of like a joke. And in all honesty, the thing is, though, I think a lot of people forget where sports games kind of started. But did Atari had sports, right? They had sports games. Oh wow, dude, I got one.
Did you? Oh my god!
Wow,
this is you're witnessing history. Our first
man,
goal.
I was born in the wrong era.
In Intellivision hockey,
should have been born in 1979.
That's the year editing this. Make sure that you also have a 1 next to your face, so this way, history acknowledges your success. My worry with this game was that the only way we were going to score is if I literally slash your goalie and knock him down, which you can do.
This is one of these things. So if you did play on the original Intellivision hardware, this would be one of those things where you would have to insert the what do you call it? Like the vinyl, not sticker, but the vinyl plastic over the controller.
The overlays. Yeah.
See here, very quickly, guys. I'll show you. See that with the 1, 2, 3. So that's the Intellivision controller, and then you'd have to like put the thing over top, and then it's like 7 would be like check.
Yeah,
but we don't have that luxury.
No,
so it's very hard it's tough to emulate the Intellivision games because it was all based on the controllers and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's like back in it's practically rotary phone. Oh, come on. There we go.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're getting the hang of this. I thought it was going to be like 0-0 until the time ran out.
I do like how one of my forwards and your forward is clearly past the red line. This is not NHL regulation hockey. This is like WHA rules.
No, there's no rules. There's
no rules.
This is...
So this is, I will say, and this isn't ice hockey for the Intellivision. Just in case we didn't say that off the top. This is already markedly better than Street Hockey 95. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I don't want the internet to get in the comments and say, how dare you say that against Street Hockey 95. But this is at least a video game, which I can't say the same for Street Hockey 95.
Dude, Street Hockey 95 it's an unmitigated disaster. So here's the thing, as incredibly dated as this game looks like it was made on a Texas calculator. As incredibly dated as this game is, at least you can see everything that's going on.
Yep.
It's present, right?
It looks like hockey if you squint.
It's like the problem is with a game like Street Hockey 95. The camera's following the puck. And it's like with something like this, at least you can tell like the guys who are making this, it's like they're like, no, keep it all in the same frame, and then that's it. You can see where a game like Blades of Steel came from.
Yeah, you totally can. You can see Blades of Steel is the real innovation of Blades of Steel is having the arrow where your shot was going to go.
Yeah.
But back in the Intellivision days, I mean, basically it required all the horsepower to make sure that the console didn't blow up. So we didn't have the technology of aiming pucks. You just had to use your directional pad. And so, basically in this, you're using the stick, or I guess it would be the dial on the Intellivision controller to aim the direction you're going. There's actually quite a decent, surprising amount of fidelity in terms of where you're aiming, which I did not expect for this.
Yeah. I don't know if what would we call it? Like, dare I say, what was the thing in the Tick? isometrical shots here.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's there's invisible lines that we can't see.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it's following a line of like wherever you are, that's where you're shooting.
I have no idea what just happened.
We stopped.
Oh.
Did somebody get a penalty?
I think you got a penalty.
Oh, whoa.
Look at your boy. Just
freaking chilling like an absolute slob.
He looks like he's just chilling on a lazy boy with a beer in his hand.
So that doesn't make sense. I didn't do anything to you.
Apparently you did. Oh, come on.
So I'm curious.
No, there is no sound.
Wow.
Yeah, well, back in the day, you just had to make these types of sounds. That's just how it was.
So just a lot of like, wow.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a surprisingly playable game. I honestly did not expect very much of this.
Okay, well, so when we prior to pressing the record button, we kind of messed around and we're like, what's what? The learning curve is about maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Without having like the original hardware and looking at the, your controller.
Yeah, there was not a single RF input used in the recording of this. We're playing as we normally do on a Raspberry Pi 4.
Wow, so look at that. Now that he's out of the penalty box, so
it is impossible. Let's not speak in absolutes, but it is impossible to score a goal that's not on a rebound, it seems. Because what seems to be happening is your goalie, if he makes a kick save, the puck will go off, and then if you happen to be in the right place, then you're able to score. But given that most sports games prior to, let's say, the NES era hockey games looked like Pong, basically 2 lines and a little dot going between us. This is a surprisingly comprehensive, maybe not comprehensive, but playable hockey simulation of hockey. It is close enough to hockey that I recognize it as a sport.
I am curious, like now looking at this one and then going back to seeing stuff that was done on Atari or even later systems, like what they did with their sports games. I can't believe you missed that.
Missed an open net.
But
yeah, well, I mean, this is part of the benefit of having a series like Hat-Trix, because I didn't grow up with an Intellivision. I mean, my first console was a ColecoVision with an Atari 2600 adapter, which is kind of madness to think of now. Imagine having a PS5 and there's a little adapter that you can plug in Nintendo Switch games. That would never happen today. And so, I don't think I had baseball and that this is consonant with what that game looked and played like.
Your first experience with video games was a ColecoVision. Yeah,
ColecoVision. Come on. Yes.
Did it go in?
It did. You could tell because Vister got it too.
Man.
I was slightly worried that
you were not going to win like
that
you
I was not
going
to win. Yeah.
It's funny how so ColecoVision was your first experience.
Yeah, a weird one. I suppose my experiences were ColecoVision, and then we also had a DOS computer.
I had a DOS. I had a golf game. I had a frog jump game, which to this day I've looked everywhere on the internet. I can't find it. Someone help me out. I'm looking for a Mr. Frog hurtling jump game. So, yeah.
Only to find out that actually it was a shit game.
Only to find out it was a fever dream, and it was just making up for the poor memories of my childhood that I fabricated.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
It's one of those things where it's like I think a lot of retro game channels on YouTube, no one really covers this era, and perhaps there's probably some sort of intersection between like how old you are and your interest in doing YouTube, whether or not you actually have like quote unquote a real job, and the games you grew up playing, right? So people who grew up with NES might have been more willing, and hence you don't really see stuff like this much anymore. But I mean, look at this. This is scintillating. Look at the speed. Look at the action. Look at the movement. I mean, look, that 2 under Visitor is rendered with incredible fidelity.
My only issue... No, I guess it makes sense. So the colors, I was going to be like, the colors are a bit whatever. But I mean, you got to think about it like 79. This was the place to be with this kind of color scheme.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the like adoption rate of like actually of color televisions would have even been in the 1970s. Presumably high, but higher than you might expect. But I'm imagining, it's not like now where you replace your LG OLED every other year. You bought the piece of furniture and that's what you had, right?
This would be played on one of those old school
black and white furniture televisions.
The furniture televisions, yeah, for sure.
Probably even has
look at that.
Probably even had a record player.
Are they doing how many minutes? It's not, but it's not working in real time though, is it?
No, I think
it's like sped up. I think, dude, that's not real 20 minutes.
No, I think the periods run 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll call it at the halfway mark.
I'm curious to see what happens at the end if people cheer.
I would be very surprised if there's anything more than what you are seeing.
They just stand around and it's like game over.
Yeah.
Go home.
Then again, I was shocked that there was a penalty. So, I mean,
a little complex. I did not expect that either.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Your first, so you were playing DOS games primarily.
Yeah, I had a DOS computer, and then my first experience was legit, like on a Nintendo. It was an NES.
Yeah.
My dad came home with that. He came home with the box. I'll never forget it.
Oh my God.
It was a winter's night, and he came home. But I think it was on the weekend because he like came back in the morning and he's like, here, and I'm like, what is this?
This is to do your taxes.
Yeah, this is to do your taxes. And then
I'm 6.
Like, dude, it was legit. It was.
Oh my God! How did I not go in?
It was the Nintendo with the zapper.
All right, I gotta see if I can just walk the puck in. Damn it!
No, it's cheating. And then that was it. Forever, my days were changed forever, man. I was like,
you were a worse person as a result of that experience. Oh, that's not how the memory worked?
That's not how the memory worked. Okay. I will say this. I remember we got the NES. And I of course, like every kid back then, I was like infatuated with Mario. I was obsessed with the friggin' that was it. I was a gamer for life. But then it was funny, and this is going way back. I don't know.
We have another penalty.
We do?
Yeah,
it is me.
Oh, I think it's because you roughed my goalie.
So this is like going way back, legit.
Yeah.
Played Mario, and then my dad went to friggin' Jumbo Video.
Okay.
And he rented the stock market game, the Wall Street Kid.
What's my God, really?
What's the game called again?
Are you talking about for the NES?
For the NES, Wall Street Kid.
I don't know. I was too busy shooting stuff.
Oh man, let me look this up.
You know what I find interesting about this game? It's that clearly the programmers didn't have a capacity. Well, not that they didn't have the capacity. That the technology wasn't there to allow you to not check the goalie. So their response to that is if you check the goalie,
you get a penalty.
Isn't that amazing?
It's crafty.
Yeah. I think that's amazing. I think you're underselling just how amazing this is.
I mean,
they implemented a rule of hockey because they couldn't do something else. So now I got a penalty.
You got a penalty. Yeah, you checked my goalie.
I don't know what I did.
Wall Street Kid was the game.
Now, is this a platformer or are you literally being like,
so
sell on oranges, buy on pineapples?
So similar to how Snatcher, which I just played and is a great game.
Yeah,
highly recommend it.
Check out our long play of that.
It is kind of like not a choose your own adventure, but you get to choose your sort of path leading to this one path. So Wall Street Kid is kind of like that. And you wake up in the morning and, you talk to your boss and you bet on things. Dude, it's like betting on the stock market.
All right.
So that was my second experience. And I thought it was so weird because I was like, is this a movie? Is this a game? I don't know, because it wasn't like Mario right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was, yeah. And then I think my third was like, I don't know. I think it was Ghosts and Goblins or Strider afterwards.
Oh, right. So I definitely played computer game DOS games that I couldn't like remember the titles at all. Like there were some There was some shooter that I think I saw once in another YouTuber's videos, and I also played like Michael Jordan versus Bird, the basketball game.
Yeah.
But then I also had like my days were spent playing like weirdo Atlas video games that I didn't realize existed. Like Dick Tracy. I played way too much Dick Tracy, although now I know it to be like a not very good game.
For the DOS?
Yeah, for DOS and black and white.
I had that game.
Yeah.
That game came on like 4 or 5 DOS discs.
Yep. You had to punch people and you picked up the machine gun at some point. Yeah. But for the NES, I had weird games. I had Captain Skyhawk for some reason.
I have that.
It's a good game.
It's rare.
Yeah. For the ColecoVision, it ended up being, whatever we found on sale, our family found on sale. So it was like, we ended up picking up more Atari games than the ColecoVision games. Like,
you had an Atari.
Well, there was an adapter that plugged into the front of the ColecoVision that allow you to play 2600 games. So I was playing like pro wrestling for the Atari, and then unplugging the Atari and playing the Rocky game where you basically just keep on fighting Clubber Lang.
You keep referencing the Rocky game. Like, I feel you got to play it and you got to show me what this game's all about. Yeah,
the scintillating digitized. I will say,
is your guy dead? What's going on?
That's your guy. I'll have you know.
No, you're okay. He's fine now. No, am I yellow? No. That
version of Rocky, I will say, has an amazing.
I cannot believe you're winning in this
intro music. Like the Rocky theme song, which I'm not going to hum now because
you will get sued by
we'll get
Paramount
sued.
Pictures.
Yeah, that's why, because I don't want to get sued.
Get canceled.
It's really good. Definitely in the future, plans for the Select Gaming is to do some of these more underappreciated titles. I mean, Hat-Trix has historically been an excuse for us to play hockey games that we never would have played before. So I'm glad maybe there's a ColecoVision version of hockey that needs to be explored and brought to light again.
I'm sure there is.
I'm going to say that if you score the next goal, it'll count as 2. Because I'm feeling like we're running the trap. My team is playing well.
Okay, well, listen, we got 7 on the clock. After the 7, we'll just call it.
Call it a 2-period game.
We will call it a 2-period.
Because I mean, we're already playing with 3 players on the ice and plus the goalie, so we're already breaking the NHL rules.
I think that's how it goes. See, it was like you would start this game up, and it was like, cool, you're gonna play, great. You play the 3 periods, and then that's it. Like, it would just whatever RAM or memory was on there. It's like, that's it.
You need to create your own stories, right? Like it's an era of video gaming where
you got to mappy land this.
You got to say, who is the ice hockey goalie when he's purple? Is he actually dead? Who's to say?
Or you just
intelligent minds want to know.
You got to make up your own stories. It's like the hometown team and the green guy hates the purple guy, and it's like they used to be on the same team, but now they're not on the same team, and now they're fighting for the Stanley Cup.
I will say this is one of those games where if you played it like if you and your friends, your super cool Intellivision friends, were playing this game, I bet you could convince your friends like, no. After you shoot, if you hold down, the puck curves, and you're like, what? No, I gotta go home and try this, and then. Like, no, that's not the case, but that's all you had. So you had to make up stuff about the games in order to convince yourself that it works, or convince yourself the game is good, that your purchase was valid, or your mother's purchase.
It is disappointing though, man, that there is no sound. Like, not even when you get checked.
No,
I think that's asking too much for 1979.
Maybe.
Though.
I mean, is this where you use your powers as video game editors and put the Hockey Night in Canada theme over here, but played in reverse and then like pitch down a key?
You play it in reverse and then
to make sure we don't get copyright strikes.
Satanic message from the Hockey Night in Canada song.
The Don Cherry just extracts his revenge on us. Oh, come on. I will say. The one of the big flaws of this game, one of its many flaws, but a clear one, is that you can't score except on a rebound. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the goalie goes down. It's too difficult to score.
Yeah.
Like,
and also you can't change players. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe if you hit like 7 for some reason.
Yeah, you're right. You need the rebound.
You need the rebound. The rebound is the only way to go.
But this is pretty fair though. Like, if this was a real hockey game, it wouldn't be 10-1, or whatever, 7-1, which I'm sure you've had. It would be 3-2. It would be 3-1.
I will say you cannot use your move.
No, you can't do anything in this, dude.
There is no mood. It's just checking the guy repeatedly.
The problem is too, you get checked, you are out cold for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and also the vertical speed is weird because, it's it is a product of its time, but it is surprisingly playable, and I do not hate it.
I do not recommend
Put that on the back of the box. I do not hate this video game, the Select Gaming. It is not Street Hockey 95. I can't say that.
All right, well, that's that.
I did win. I just wanted.
Yeah, you did.
I just want to put that down for the record.
So we're gonna keep this one short because I don't see myself winning at all in this. But it's funny because I downloaded like this ROM package like about 3-4 months ago, and dude, they all work for the most part. It's been a couple games, because of that you can't use.
Before we leave though, I'm just gonna jam on everything.
Yeah, so let's experiment. Like, you can kind of see. I'm sure there's other, like the E.
It also strikes me that the Intellivision had physical switches on the console itself.
Yeah, so it would have had. This would have been the button layout, but then you would have had like the directional pad, right? Which was like one of those circles.
What I would like to know is, can I score on my own net?
I strongly doubt it.
You just went through my own net.
Yeah, so you can see that it's completely.
Dusty,
this was an interesting one. So this was a nice one to kind of just take a look at, because I haven't seen too much of the sports stuff from like Atari and Intellivision and all that stuff. So yeah, it's colorful. It works. If you were a kid in 1979,
yeah,
I feel sorry for you. This is what you had to deal with.
I can confirm that this is why kids went outside.
And this, and they had bikes, and all the kids were like the kids in E.T. They weren't like us, right?
Until next time, Dusty.
Until next time, Falstaff.